start auxiliary, jump and feel you start smiling and smiling. So, when you say, rather than change what I say, you just, that smell, you just smell like vinegar. You're really and
yeah, it's that ammonia smell.
yeah. But when I on my hand, it's not that hot. I don't put my bag.
What's in the bag?
I put my grass card in the bag, and trash bag, and then reverse bag, and bring it back in my truck.
Gotcha.
That works. Okay. So, you don't have to do these warm-ups, but I'm going to show you some warm-ups, and we're just going to do simple ones. We're going to go from this line to the next square line. So we're just going to do our strips. Remember how to strip?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So, basic strip is bringing your ass, your feet to your ass. You're simulating someone's going to mount or ground down you, and you choose a side. So if I'm going to use this way, I'm going to use the opposite shoulder. So what I'm doing is if I go here, I don't have enough room to bridge. As close to my butt as possible, as close as I can get. And this way, I'm bridging, looking over my shoulder, over my eyebrow. So once I do that, that's my bridge motion. But then I'm going to shoot my butt perpendicular to my navel. Boom. I put my hands down, almost see like I push my shin. Then the way I reset is I come to my opposite side and bring this leg close to my butt. You can probably bring your butt my foot closer. Ball of your foot around your heels. And this is a good habit to have the ball of the foot. You're going to be able to elevate your hips more. So again, you're going to just break out, exaggerate on your shoulder. Just lift your hip up. Before you start pushing forward, before you start pushing north, I want you to shoot your butt towards me. Now, reset. And then, if you can do this to your rigor, you can do this right on your back, and you just all you can do is the reason why I do strips, which was never explained to me, but if I'm here, I'm going to start shooting, you're going to get on one side, extremely exaggerate the planks on one side. Boom. You frame on here, and I want you to shoot this, and as you start to shrink out, you get on. Boom. And I'm going to come up, and so I want you to really shoot that. See that? Look at all that stuff. So now I want you to, as I start moving north, I want you to reset to the opposite leg. Same thing, and comes from butt. So if you're on the shoulder, this comes close to your butt. I want you to bridge a little bit, you get straight up, and now shoot your ass forward. Yeah, and it's a weird motion, but it eventually becomes your second motion. Yeah. So now we're exaggerating that movement. Eventually, it's going to come smoothly like this. I kind of exaggerate this and kind of go like this. This leg is flat out, so I'm trying to slide this under the hips from there now. So, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast, the same way. So go slow as you can. And then eventually you'll be a lot better. You'll feel better at it. I'll walk you through these warm-ups. Because these are things you could do on your own whenever you're not in class. And like I said, we just do a lot of time. You're going to stand up. This is how we teach the kids to do it. They go to the car check or stagger seats and they find them awesome. Do the rest of the stance. I only roll on this shoulder, but you can roll on both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an imaginary pie. Use the backhand press here. But I don't have my head up like a football thing. I'm actually touching my chin, and I'm rolling my hand between my ankles and my knees. So my elbow kind of comes between my knees, and I'm collapsing, and just watch. You're going to see this. I'm keeping it tucked so I don't bite my tongue. And I come up, and it comes the next one. So the opposite one would be tucking the shoulder, I'm goofy on the side, I tuck my head.
Yeah.
But I'm so kind of efficient. What people do incorrectly, four rolls. Yeah. Holy shit. I want you to come up thinking you're going to engage. Up. Just like shooting. I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. That's a good way of thinking. Nice and slow, take a shake. Now try to keep the two stand up. If you can. That's the whole trick. The roll will carry you through that momentum. Beautiful. That's it. I suggest you practice both sides. You don't want to get up here. So on the way back, we're going to do a back fall, some choke speed, break falls. You know how to do break falls? You know how to do break falls? Yeah. We'll just go right up and I'll show you the back fall. So break fall is kind of like shoulder width. Butt goes down, curl my chin, and I'm making like a turtle shell. I'm coming in, but I'm not going over my head. I'm actually creating a side. Break fall. And I can do it from rolling, but what I'm trying to do is distribute that impact on my forearms, not my elbows. And I'm opening my hands, trying to catch myself. I'm doing on asphalt, I'm going to fuck myself up. But it's going to be better than one. Right? So, back control. I'll do it from standing, but I kind of get back in my column. So I'm going to roll, and I'm going to straighten my arm. Move my head up and I'm rolling over my shoulder. Not rolling the back of my head.
After the break fall.
And I get up. Get up a little bit. Break fall. One continuous motion. I can do a scoop. I can roll. So again, if you just roll over here, this is giving you your opponent. I don't try it. So nice and slow. Lower your butt. And they roll like that and bring your head forward. I can't do that. The biggest thing is leading with that shoulder and rolling. I'll do it correctly. I'll show you how to. So I roll. I have to really exaggerate my roll because I'm a big kid, man. What people always end up doing is this. I can't even do it correctly. They'll go. Trying to figure out boom. So what they do is they keep their feet up. But what's going to help you really is if you're trying to think of you as you're getting and burning your butts in, keep your toes on the ground. I can't do that. So what I do is I lead with my shoulder. Well, that's good. They roll here and they go. So lead with that shoulder. I hug that lead that I'm going with, and I try to get under with my forearm. That helps me curl my back. And then I roll. I exaggerate, pointing my toes over my head. It's going to take practice. So as you roll, point your toes to the same wall. As you get inverted, it helps. So try not to be on the top of your head. Try to get a little bit further back. And I'll help you in the next one. So don't go back. I want you to hug your left leg with your left elbow. Hug it, elbow deep. Hug under your knee. Under. Hug under. So see how your shoulder just bent forward? Why don't you tuck your head towards your knees? Sorry, come over here for a second. Toes pointed that way. So, what I want you to do is, your head's coming down here. You're rolling on this. So if you hug this really deep, your head automatically comes down. And then you point your toes, and I'm going to get you going. Your hips are going to be right there. As you point your toes, your hips will come over your shoulder. That is the movement. That's the trick. This is see how we're doing that. I'm going to help you with that. Point your toes that way. I want you to sit on your ass like this. You're trying to sit down on that. Let's say something when you're hitting one of them. So, because you're bigger, I want you to help you. Help you. See how this brings you forward? What I'm doing is I'm going to help you roll, getting your ass up over here. Point your toes all the time. You're actually jabbing your toes straight. You're going to go. So you're going to go on the shoulder. You're going to go on this one. You're big, so you might want to press into it. You're trying to roll. So go ahead and cut this, and as you slowly roll over the shoulder, and that shoulder, when your toes come back, close to it. You're ready to come out, and I'm going to help you. And I'm trying not to crush your chin and your chest. So you're going to roll. So eventually, I want you to invert, and I want you to look at me, look over your forehead, look at sort of point towards the back. You almost want to force your hands. Yeah. Because when you bend, it rolls your hips. She raises your toes. So she does see the wall all the time. Sort of. And your goal is to keep your eyes there. What it does, it helps your focus there. Because when your focus goes somewhere else, just kind of bend your knees there. And then you try to stay right on top and push your toes over your head. It's not even think about the people. We'll start to pause and shoulder. There. Point. That's what you're doing. That little elevation right there is what you're doing. You'll get better. Trust me. It's frustrating. Try to point your toes. If you point your toes, it'll help keep your knees straight. You bend your knees, your hips come out. Point your toes. As you're inverted, let's pause and then point both your toes towards that outlet. Look at your hips. Your hips elevated over your shoulders. And you're going to screw this up for a while so you don't. If this is uncomfortable, just put on those drills that I referred to. Ramps, and then modified shirts. Modified shirts are for getting away from the sand that's coming on when you use the ankle. Here, the ankle down the butt. Push it down. And this is what I'm doing. You can't just shrimp. Because one shrimp, I'm going to get on top. So this is why we stimulate this for self-defense. So, you don't have to switch me, but we stimulate pushing down. Break fall. Shrimp. I'm an elbow shrimp. I'm going to test it again. But I'm posting up with this hand because that's my defense. Right? That's what I'm thinking. So this is all the stimulates. So this is just a warm-up. Boom, break fall. Boom. Regular shrimp. Elbow shrimp. But this is important because I'm thinking self-defense. I'm also thinking in jiu-jitsu, technical getter. Purple belt, brown belt. I know Coach Tanner, he's like, hey, purple belt, I expect you to work on your brown belt stuff, you need to be on top. So if I just get pushed down, I'm not really going to do that in a law enforcement or in a self-defense situation. Works great here in the mats. But as he's coming on me, he'll bear it. That's what we're seeing. So we're going slow. Do it on one, break fall. Shirt on our side. Boom. Elbow. Second will get up and elbow up. Break fall. Shirt. Get up. Shrimp. Elbow. Post on your arm. You can keep stand out. I just want you guys to know these movements. So, how long you been training, Jay? 14 months. Okay, so you got an advantage because you're wrestling and grappling. So it's going to help you. You have an accelerated understanding of body movement and not going to hurt yourself. Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I'll usually announce if I'm not going to come, so. Right. This is going to be a review for you, but this is what I think of grappling and everything in general as far as jiu-jitsu. What people do, I'm trying to think of my thought process. 3 years in, I realized what I haven't been doing or remembering from the first 3 years.
Okay.
So, the basic principle of jiu-jitsu is this. We're simulating a fight without strikes and kicks so that we can control the fight if it gets to the ground, and we use grappling to control when it gets to the ground. So that's the easiest way I can talk about wrestling and jiu-jitsu. But what I'm trying to do in jiu-jitsu is the same thing I do in law enforcement. So I'm using you for size discrepancy. Most of the people I'm thinking they have a longer reach. So put your arm out, you're going to make that connection better than I can. So I need to stay out of danger zone, which is essentially here. If we can touch here, he can grab it. But in jiu-jitsu or any grappling, he's got me, and I can't break this grip, I got him too. So we want to think of that position. So we want to stay out of danger range. This is green, can't tell. But I also want to stay out of this fatal funnel. This is what we used to use in law enforcement and military. Fatal funnel is a 90-degree angle where if I have my pistols, my knives, my weapons, right? So I want to stay off that angle. I want you to stay there. I want to stay out of this 90. So if you make a 90-degree off your chest, that's going to be 180 once you think of that. This is easy for you to attack me. If I approach you, if I stand in this position, you need to rotate your torso or your hips to address it. So now I've got my balance, I'm also addressing the situation where I can kind of see if you got my weapons. In jiu-jitsu, he wants to do an iron score or whatever he's at, to do his combat stance or whatever, but he wants to address me, just natural inclination. So, I either have to be really close, and I'm using my head to create leverage, so I use my hands, my head, or my hips to reposition where he's at. Or if we're fighting, I want to give him an advantage. So if I'm here, put your hands straight out, I'm within his reach. So I'm coming in, and I'm either getting out of his reach, walking, ready to take my shot, or I don't want to I'm using this. But in jiu-jitsu, what I'm trying to do is create space. He's on offense. He's taking away space. He's trying to occupy as much space as he can and smash. He's trying to take away my space. I'm using my frames and my shrimping and my bridging to create space so that he doesn't control my head and my arm. That's the fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. It's never been broken down to a lot of people. They just say, all right, start learning. So I want you to think of whatever we're doing in side control. Let's lay down your back. What I'm doing with my position, fundamentals, make connections. Need a hip, need a shoulder or elbow pit. I want to deny him frames, and I'm using my position and gravity to control him, not my muscle, not my 210 pounds on his 225 plus pounds, right? Because I can't bear hug him and control him. If I just bear hug him, he's going to roll me to the left and right. I want to think of elbow to elbow. So now if he tries to shrimp in any direction, I just occupy the space, and I'm just a wet blanket, right? Same thing with this. I try to get under his neck. If I grab that, or if I just post on the mat. What I'm trying to do is go elbow deep. And I'm keeping my elbow and knee, if I can, close together so he can't front. Boom. So if he starts to roll to his right, and I'm bear hugging him, and roll, he's not white belt sweep. Boom. So in this position, I want you to think of, I'm not going to change my position, all I'm going to do is change my posture. So I'm hugging you, I'm controlling you. You go to switch to your right. Do it again. Now let's say you beat me to punch. Go ahead and do it again. I I lose no position by sprawling out like an engine. Right here. We went over this.
Yeah. So when you post out like that, at what point are your arms in danger of that individual grabbing from underneath? Just is what it is.
Better than getting slapped.
My hips are pinning his hips.
Okay.
My hips are pinning his hips. He could try to attack my arm, but he's carrying my weight, and he can't bridge or shrimp because my hips are over his center of gravity.
Okay.
You get people that are not trained, and they'll try to do some type of joint manipulation, this and that. Give them an elbow to the ear. So, not in the gym, obviously, but let's pretend you're a spaz and you feel me like you're gonna roll, because some people are really good and athletic and they get a good bridge, right? But you see my arm and you think you're gonna do something. So go ahead.
So just bring it back in. You bring the frame back.
I guess, yeah, what I want to do is bring my hips back to my weight and base down. I want to control some depth. He's definitely going to take me advantage. I break one of my legs on the table. I put some little back. So, I mean, I said elbow on, but I'm thinking, I don't know. I have to feel it. So, and the same thing with the fundamentals of get on top of shrimp, side control. You will find yourself here with bigger people. So I want you to make your knee and elbow connections through my body. This is going through my hips. This elbow and knee is almost simulating so I can't get here. And he's going to talk sleep nothings. That ear is going to come down to my chest. Either way, if he looks towards me or away from me, doesn't matter. But look, my shoulders are pinned, my hips are pinned. If I bridge and I shrimp, he's just going to allow me to slink my way towards his head. And he's going to follow with his knee.
Sucking back in.
Yep.
Taking space.
Yeah, so I'm stuck. Give me a little space. I need this. I need a frame here on his shoulder, and I'm using my wrist to kind of flick into his throat. I need this elbow
Back in.
on the frame of his hip, but I don't want to do this because if he sprawls a little bit, and he rolls his left hip down, he's going to wrist lock the other hip. He's going to wrist lock me here. I can break my wrist. So I never put my hand here. I can make a fist, or I can do a karate chop. You know this? Okay, so what we're going to show you. You get me in side control. Connect your knees. Always make this a habit. You're thinking knee connection. This elbow's going through my body. Just snug enough to where I don't even feel it. This is going under my head. So now you got this shoulder. Relax. I just want you to just control the connection. I want you to put one of your temples on my chest. You don't even have to hold my arm. Nope, you don't even need that. I just want you to feel this elbow coming through my pistol belt. So as I slink away, just letting you go. You're just giving me space. Yeah, just enough to where I don't even feel that resistance where I want to move. Now you're being a wet blanket. Every time I do something, you have an answer for it. What I need is, if you give me a little bit of space, this is what I want. I want to feel here. I got this frame here. Instead of doing this on my hand, so if you roll this way, I'm going to wrist lock myself. I'm using the blade of my forearm on his hip bone, his floating ribs, depends on the body type. And I'm using either a karate chop or a fist. And that helps me prevent posting my hand up. That makes sense, right? So this one, my hand's on his trap or his clavicle. And if you look towards me, now I'm under his chin. And what I'm doing is a wrist flick. As I do this, his left foot close to my butt. I'm elevating my hips. I'm going on the shoulder, creating space and shooting my butt out. And bringing my knee back in. Once I bring my knee back in, if you start driving into me, most knee practitioners will bench press.
Yeah.
I'm going to do an extension with my back straps, and I'm going to do a good morning with my glutes. I'm just going to extend my head here. If I get that bottom leg cool, but I'm using this position, he's in an advantageous position. I've got no frames. I've got to create space with this. I bring both my feet in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, this hand, punch the ceiling. Bridge, create space to get this hand in, and suck the elbow. If I do the opposite, I can go bridge, suck the elbow in, and I have this hand fight here. Or I might have to do this in different ways. Bridge, elbow. Suck it in. If he's real persistent, I could be a dick about it too. I'm going to get my blade up right on his face and then go here. I'm creating all assistance to control my position. I've created space. Again,
Okay, take this position. You got control. What happened? It almost seemed like I did it all in one move, but I did those 4 steps.
Couple shrimps.
Okay? So,
That's a lot.
so again, the same principle applies. Iron squirrel, you can lay down your back, I'm gonna give it iron squirrel. Right? You're still somewhere in this position. Somewhere. Iron squirrel. Remember that? You remember that concept? Okay. So what I want you to feel is the correct frame. You're gonna use this part of your blade, and you're gonna use this part. You're flicking your wrist almost like doing this. So you're pushing down on my shoulder, and your wrist bent up. So let's put this on the clavicle, on the trap. Yep, I want you to close your hand here. And now your elbow's gonna flare up so that I can't talk it. I'm choking myself. No, I want you to keep doing it. I'm doing that intentionally so you can hear it. This hand, see how you have it here? I want you to be vertical or make a fist. So if I do this way, that's the principle. So now we're gonna punch to the ceiling. You're gonna do it nice and slow. Suck an elbow in or get the frame. You gotta get one of the two. You can get both, great. So I'm gonna come in a good dominant position. I'm gonna do it both of you. I'm gonna get under your elbow, so I'm gonna get in my ideal position. You're not gonna have anything. Ready? Go. You might be able to do that. Right? Beautiful. You might be able to suck them both in. Now, let's go. Go. More realistic. That's what you're gonna feel. All right, Jake. Just lay your head. Most people will pass to your left. Doesn't matter. You're going both sides. So, you're on this part. And this is going to be what's on the clavicle, it's all over the connection. And as I push down, I'm going to flip into this side. I'm using that. And it's not a tricep, it's not a bench press. I'm going to give you a good frame. You either try or make this, whichever one it is. But you never want this. So I want you to think of flat palm on my clavicle. If you're wanting to grab my trap, you can feel that way. I'm choking myself. If I'm going to tell you force, or drop my hips and back. I want you to be using this thumb between your shoulder and your elbow. That's what's keeping you elbow. It's not a bench press because the delta is lift 200 to 105 pounds, not as effective as this structure that you're consuming out of your body. So, this is your ideal position. This is what we want to do. After the night, you actually floating on your shoulder. You can shrink and grow low, or grow and grow your hips. Or, so instead of squeezing in the room, what I want you to do is think of bringing this foot as close to your butt as possible. Hip thrust, shoot your ass out. No, I want you to get the face in, and I want your still hold your shoulders. Look at that. Now when I'm aiming in, you've created space by making that snap out. If you find it difficult, I have it difficult. I got to do 2 shrimps. So I want you to get to the top or bottom. Someone says, always do the top, always do the bottom. I said, get fucking in. Right. You can just get the kneecap on the hip bone on the head. You might have to shrink again or get it again. So instead of starting at my advantageous position, I want you to work on that shrink. And then once you get a knee in, like we're not rushing it, I want you to use that connection on the hip to extend your body where you're not using it. Is it better to get top of the wall? Is it better? I want you to follow it. I got it. I'm using my hips and using it. So you might be fed up. Work on it depends on their body size. His top doing is going to be different than mine. So, get what you do. The biggest thing is using your back straps and your glutes to extend your head on top. So, with this, you're going to go really slow for the bridge, shrimp, knee shield. Then you're going to do a bit more knee extension. Pull your body, your upper body over to the back. So you get your frame, and control, and Matt, don't move your arm, don't move your arm.
What's the distance?
But we instinctually want to dash. So we can practice with each other. I'll rotate in so we have different controls. I'm working on control, the bottom person on the bottom, working on hitting frames, bridging, shrinking, creating space to one stage. So I'm going to start your advantage. You're not going to have any frames in at all. This is that little one. Okay, ready? Stand front.
Knee shield.
And that's all that. I'm giving you 70%. I'm trying to be a left bracket, but this is definition for you to win. I'm trying to, but I'm not letting control to win. I'm not winning inside me. I want to control the position. Boom.
Bridge. Right, front. Knee shield.
You get the frame, right? You waited a couple of steps in the frame. So in this process, you might be able to skip a step, and get away with it because you're athletic. But if you become a black belt, you always fall.
Then that's the,
You start bridging without both framing. So I have this elbow, and you have that frame, and you frame. Then you
yeah,
have
that's
that
something that you.
yeah, I mean, if you're
That's
adjusting,
great experience.
yeah, if you're adjusting cool, but it's not cool. I just want to emphasize.
Yeah. I was, the first grade was just bouncing around.
So frame, bridge, knee shield, extend. Itch.
You might not get in that same order too. And you're right. I was just assessing as a tiki out frame, but no, it wasn't bridging it. You're right. Go on the order between all those actually needs. We'll do one more. So as you can see, I'm not really giving you a lot
When I
of
got to this point where I can put my hand on your hip and push away, is that an okay time for the palm to hit the hip, or is that still a dangerous zone?
no, I mean, I wouldn't even worry about as long as you got it.
If your knee's in,
Sometimes you can get what you get. People sound good. It's a bigger tip, right? And it's not being fixed. A lot of us guys will use our head. Post on the face. If they're gonna put their head in your chin, post on the head. Put your palm on your eye socket. You're not hurting me. You know what I'm talking about? So if I'm being persistent with my head, you feel like you got a good position on your side, and you're trying to do this. I start putting my head. Post on my head. Not the both hands up. You can use your other. Right? You know what I mean? I'll use my head. So if I use my head, fine.
yeah, I was thinking of that yesterday, how we were wrestling with grappling, because he immediately had his hand like inside my head, which is not usual, but I was like, okay, I don't think to do that, but I've had that experience. It wasn't a problem. I was just like, no, I need to use that option.
Yeah.
I forget my head is an appendage.
Yeah. My head hurts me. It's really kind of intense. So I'm going to get it back to this position. I'm not going to give you these elbows anyway. Okay? And all you're going to do is so let's get this right before you. How you can. Now I want you to bridge. Sure. Yeah. You don't have to put your foot in position. Okay. That's enough. That's enough for now because you go to good position. That's all you're going to do.
Yeah, that's for like positions I end up getting myself in, and being on the bottom a lot. That's helpful.
So the biggest thing that white belts should learn, and it's not going to matter, a lot of people skip the understanding.
Yeah.
There's that guy John Gallagher who said, when you learn jiu-jitsu, learn to escape pins, not inside control. So what I'm teaching you is create space by using frame and version control.
Yep.
Those are all things you didn't want besides those. With mount, sitting like that. Now, it sits over my hips. I can't breathe. I can't do anything. The moment I start going my elbows over my nipples, I say, you got control of everything. I can't do anything. People always bench press. So I want you to be a wet blanket. I'm going to push above your navel, and you just stay on it. How long can I do that for?
Did you have to read it early?
I'm wasting all my energy, and all I'm doing is this. What I want you to think of is, get up for a second. I gotta control his hips. He wants to either control my hips, or sit on my chest, put his knees in my elbow, in my armpits. Now my elbows are elevated, go for arm bars, chokes. I can't defend. In a self-defense situation, I can't even strike. So, what I need to do is control his hips. If I do this, I can try to burn it out, which means I elevate his hips and I wiggle. I'm not lifting his ass. I can. I'm gonna be exhausted. So what I always do, and you'll see me do it a lot, I'll give my secret out. I always go to my left shoulder. It doesn't matter, go to both shoulders. But what I'm really trying to do is I keep my elbows in tight. So if you can't see those knees in my armpits, because the moment, I'm giving you my toes. I put my knees into your armpits so that I can get my thighs under your elbows. Once you're here, you start fighting, you're already giving these elbows to start attacking. So, biggest thing, tight, never fight. Never fight, because I can't fight from you. I'm a squirrel, elbows tight, knees, and I choose a side. I'm always going to choose my left side. I can do right, but I always choose my left. Boom. As soon as I get here, I keep this elbow tight, I use this bottom to reinforce my wrist. Now I'm using my elbow to wrist across hip pocket to hip pocket, or jiu-jitsu guard. So look at my feet. I'm in a shrimping position. So I'm framing on his hips. He's going to try to go north through my head. I'm just going to shrimp. That's real easy, but not with a 200-pound person on you. So, as he's coming on, it's already too late here. So I'm thinking, if I can identify when he's going to get here, oh shit. And he's either going to try to control me or he's going to try to start maneuvering. So I'm creating space, I'm wiggling. I'm shrimping. I couldn't rotate to my right hip, so I'm keeping that frame here, blocking his hips. I'm getting this leg under. I'm trying to shoulder. So the biggest thing is the elbow is coming on the back.
And when you get over my head, breathe here.
Yeah, right?
That was what I was going to say. If I've got 200 pounds on his lungs have to be pressed vertically. Go ahead and breathe. And hear a really good breath. He's on his side. I'm going to press here. Good side. Get you. I'm trying to put my weight on him. He can still breathe. He can still expand. So, what I want you to do is choose side, doesn't matter which side. You do the same. The one that's touching the elbow, the hips, the second one's supporting. What you're doing simultaneously is blocking the hips, trying to get this forearm in front of the thigh, ideally under the knee, but it doesn't matter. You're gonna straighten this leg out, bring this foot up. You straighten this leg out, you're gonna slip that under the leg. So you're gonna see the mechanics of it. I want you to exaggerate the on your side. This is gonna be on my hips. This is gonna be close to your body. And all you're gonna do is try to frame, not push, and then shrink. And that's going to elevate my knees. You're going to see my knees break contact from the mat. He's going to be able to get his butt up, or he's going to be able to get his leg go halfway. So, from here, you should already know that once my leg starts coming over, you're going to have to slow down. So, setting in, you're already starting to see it before I get settled in. That's the biggest deal. How do I set setting? I hate when it's setting that. Who's that mean? That's natural progression. In order to see it, that's him, right? Or if I'm over here, slinking, boom, so starting our defense early is the biggest thing. Before you see that jab coming on, it's a lot of your knee. So we'll start from flat now. Keep your elbows in tight. Sometimes it's hand, but bigger. I'll put my hands together. So this helps keep the frame. And now you can feel his elbows are moving forward. So keep close. You want to change that elbow? Shoot side, right side of the so you slowly, doesn't matter if you go here. controlling it. So you can go here, you can already tell, like, I'm just gonna mix it. Just watch this step out. You can feel that once I elevated your hips, you're like, shoot, I'm losing my position. So it should be different. There's some your weight, it's not it. It's gonna be a little different with his. So you gotta remember you can't fight and lay down. I can't get this, I gotta get it. If I can't get away, I gotta get it. The moment I start going above the navel, I'm gonna lose the position. So, forward position first, never leave it right comfortable. So what I want you to do is practice here. You're either gonna be there or you're gonna be here. That's what it is. And what you're doing is you're supporting that. Go ahead and put this over here. Keep this elbow tight and go to the shoulder. Yep, that's how you're doing. And go to the shoulder. Okay, so. Now I'm just gonna start now. Elbows. Inside. He's gonna shoot his hips out. You can shoot your hips out. No. Sometimes not. So now let's do Jake. And if it works, it works. If not, you get shut. Think, whenever I get second hit, shrimp.
Yep.
If I can't do anything, frame the shrimp and give it a couple of
That bridge was important too, to get just that a little bit of momentum going.
So you have that frame, are you going like this or are you going?
I'm using a thumb support here. I'm trying to use this. I'm not really extending my triceps versus using this 90 degree to frame it.
This end.
Yeah, this was kind of just support. What I'm trying to do is just block so that I can shrink my ass out. I'm not pushing you down as much as I'm keeping you from going.
Yeah.
So it's good job. I'm
You
just
have
going to
to
use
use sweat energy too.
hopefully. So go ahead and now. About 60 seconds. Good. That's what's going to be.
Yeah.
That's the fight. So let's go slow and see if you can be any more effective going slow. So you still do the same thing. You're just able to do it at a different pace. You can do it quick, but I was talking about you do it slow and do it fast. Slow is fast. Just like shooting, you guys do shooting. You don't just go through and run the approach. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's run. Same thing. So, these are the principles that you're going to go over for the next 10 years and you did until you get locked up and you go, I don't even know. Right? So we can roll if you guys want to roll, or if you guys have any questions you want to work on, if you want to keep me busy, because I don't know what your schedule is, maybe flexible, it's 8:19. Okay, so what do you guys thinking right now?
I've got something going on right here. So yeah.
There's a way to flow roll without aggravating it. It's teach you so when you do it consistently instead of having to take some days off.
Yep, totally.
And what you do is from the class, and out.
Yep.
Or you can say to someone, hey, can you just drill this movement today? Which is totally what we can do. For you, you want to go over it?
Yeah.
Or then
I like the reminder of, because sometimes when I get in a tired spot, I'm like, I'll just, this idea, like, I'll just lay down for a second, and then I'm like, it's worse. Instead of thinking about your side, it's like giving myself that mental, like, the brake is on your side, not on your back.
yeah.
I'm so used to being on my back at this point, that I'm like, oh, I'm kind of comfortable. But it's not effective.
Worst case scenario. Try to optimize your worst case scenario.
Right.
That's all it is. I need something fun. I know all the stuff, and I fuck it, right? Against different people. Lower balls, higher balls, and that's the whole thing is in life. So, with you, do you want to do some rolling for your cardio? I don't really have a cardio exercise.
Yeah.
I don't want to come class and not.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
Yeah. can watch, you can see what we are, any kind of questions. We'll roll out time and then we'll take a few breaks whenever. I call it, I hate to say it, 'cause I don't think I'm old, but I do old man jujitsu where I try to be as efficient as possible. I'll try to say, so I'm going to scramble, but I'm going to time my scramble. It's hard for me because he's got length and he's got weight. You know, he's not big, he's not. If there's anything you're looking at, maybe even have trouble. Any position you're finding yourself in second, but I'll try to get to a position.
You know, it's really just if you're on your back and you're progressing into it, then once you get that escape feeling, where does your mind take you? Where do you want to be from your back? Like, what's your end? There's like 100,000 end goals, but where's your, when you're coming out and being underneath, what's your first step?
My home gym has always been like to work from the bottom because technically I'm like a track being an issue. It doesn't work against D, traditional D, because top position D is that I'm going to control everything. So now what I'm trying to emphasize for myself is if I see any daylight and I'm coming here, instead of just staying on the bottom and defaulting to stay on the bottom, I'm trying to create space. I'm trying to really get up, which is be really effective in law enforcement myself.
Yeah.
Because for the last 6, 7 years, I'm here, I'm creating space, I'm going to run. Okay, I mean, this works great in sports jiu-jitsu and I can try to sweep or whatever, but if I'm focused on this and he's got a knife or he's going to start kicking me, I got to start blocking, which is going to affect my career. It's going to affect my control, right? But if I'm here and I'm framing and doing my technique together, then I'm going to have to a wrestling position. So I would say for you, folks, we do progressive guard through silver there, but our progressive guard, all guards should be super submit. That's something I learned in the last year. We don't. My guard. They say that we used to win. Now, I'm not really winning. I need to sweep or submit. If I can't sweep or submit, I need to get out. So he's throwing punches in a self-defense situation. I'm blocking. Like I'm sweeping there. Now I'm starting to happen. So think of plenty guards reversing the position. I want to go. But I'm not going to get a big position fighting to the top and getting him.
So even bottom, being mounted to guard to sweep would be sort of a thought process of person.
Yeah, think of sweep and submit. If you can submit from the bottom, great. If you can shoot triangles, great. I don't have triangle legs. If you don't look like you do, but you will. But right now, my triangles from the bottom aren't really happening on me. I'll throw a triangle which will pop straight and I'm good.
Yeah.
So I want you to think of it, if you need to, stand up. Don't stand up and break contact. Stand up, posting on the hips, posting on the bottom. So we're going to start with you on your back. And we'll start from there. When we do these passing drills, I'm going to try to do these. In Canada, there's a lot of stuff too. And then we start. So we're simulating that passive guard or broken guard or whatever. Now I'm already going to pass the tips to get to a side position. Once I get past the tips, I got to control for 3 seconds to say that I passed successfully. Because if I pass and he referring to guards wrestles up, I didn't pass successfully because it's defender. So I got to pass his hips and control. Does that make sense? Makes sense? Yeah. If you get up, you just get up, we'll count that as a set.
Yeah, so it's not, it's kind of positional stuff.
Yeah. But this is how we're going to start in the middle. How we get started. And I'm going to try to keep them on. Ready? Push my knee off your head.
I was trying to think about balance on that way. What I want to do with that. So this is the,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, belly defense, I was trying to see if I could roll you this way.
I'm surfing and staying on top of you. Every time you rotate, I'm trying to stay on your hips. You're flying your back. What I do sometimes, this is good for both of you, is I'll C-clamp right on the ankle, this knee on the belly, and I'll frame and shrink out. So if you C-clamp, this part of the ankle, and then you shrink away from me, my knee's gonna fall off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so however you get there. So it doesn't always work, but it's something that they always teach you traditionally for your knee. But you can't rotate that shoulder into me to shrink. But if you frame that bottom shoulder, you're blocking my knee from following. Hopefully. Hopefully I don't adapt and pummel over and go to our side, right? So we're gonna go here. What I was doing is pinning your shoulder, pinning your hips into the mat. Ready to post. Cool. Keep going.
Just away from that here.
What am I doing right now with your left elbow? This is your left elbow.
Yeah.
Keep my chest and your shoulder blade. I'm doing that, I'm actually thinking my knee is all towards me. It's gonna be hard. But now, you're a flat pancake, but I can't put my weight on you. The moment I adjust to suck here, I want you to really hard with your knees. So, right here, I was trying to keep you on your side because I wanted this arm. But I was using my chest to block you.
Right.
If you shrink away, I can take you back. But if you stay this shoulder, I can no longer attack the shoulder or this elbow. Here, now you gotta face me. Rotate your knees towards me. Frame. Just move. And now once you bring your feet close to your butt, you strength under the bar. You're going to be stuck in bottom. So what I'm trying to do is use my chest and my shoulder blades to keep you here. But once you start, and don't control your hips. Once you rotate your knees towards me, your feet, balls your feet on the mat. Start regarding, I'm going to adjust. You're going to have to be able to turn into me. Because now I'm no longer pinning you in that.
So right there.
You want me to put it on this one? Ideally, I'll say it was a gift wrap. Right? Doesn't matter how you have it. I did it in the chest here. Yeah, it was a shaky. Yeah. So I want you to focus on your ball your feet and put your sternum in the back of your shoulder. So all your weight is on your shoulder. I'm not going to break. You're just going to follow me. So I got to take this arm. So I'm going to get my feet close, rotate my hips, press them up. It's not easy, but that's what I'm thinking. Because if I go away, then you appear. Yep. If I go away, I'm giving my back, or I'm giving you the Kimura. You go right to Kimura, overstep with your right knee over my face, sit up my. Yep. That's what I'm worried about, that position. So the biggest thing right here with this, keep that chicken wing. I don't want to be flat on my back, so I think I got to
Rotate through it.
That's tough to figure out if you're supposed to roll in or roll out.
I'm throwing it in Tanner both ways.
So that's kind of like, when you're in that spot, there's no rolling out, it doesn't feel like. So I'm in my mind, I'm just stuck here, and what's like?
So I'm going to default to what he always tells me, because you're going to hear it in his classes, you're going to hear it through the other SBA practitioners and instructors. Sometimes you want to give them an avenue of egress. You want to give them an exit. So if I have you there, instead of you just holding that dominant position here, and just being a dignified, instead of having it, because you might see me moving mobily, or I might just use my little leg like this. So if I'm just here, he knows that that's not the way to go. I might just lay back and then come off him. If he thinks he can go into turtles from here, I really kind of want to take his back anyways. So I can't give him so much pressure that he's like, I'm futile. It's futile to go the other way, so I'm just going to stay here. Because I do that too. From the bottom position, go, okay, he's got a good position, whatever I do, feels like it's up. I'm just going to try going right. Fuck it. I'm going to try going left, and fuck it. Luckily, we're not using wide drives, we're not doing that. We're simulating jiu-jitsu. That might be an escape.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if a lot of people are mobile enough to scramble and chase you like that. He said it, he's like, wow, it looks so fluid. I don't feel fluid. I feel clumsy, but I don't look, I lost myself on the okay. So you felt I was kind of sticky, and every time you did, I repositioned. Yeah. So I didn't commit to a position, I was just like, cool, cool. Whereas deep practitioners will hold you and go, I got this, I'm just going to hold this.
I was impressed actually with how much, even though I was on my side, how much pressure, like collapsing along from the back is what it felt like.
He saw it more than you would fucking, oh no, you would too. So if I'm using someone, what I'm trying to do when I try to interview with you is when you're on top, I'm trying to crush this side of the body through your spinal cord into them. So I'm simulating that, just like when I exercise, I think of the muscle in a visual. But I'm also thinking of that. If I put my hand on the mat, I'm doing side control here, my weight isn't really distributed well, whereas I can put my weight on your chest with my sternum. Now I get my hands on it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So if I'm on this, we're going to tell you this is your chest. If I'm here, there's only so much pressure. When I'm here, there's only so much pressure. When I'm here, you can feel that pressure on your leg. I'm going through your leg, and I'm thinking of putting my sternum through your bone, through everything in there. There's a difference when I was just sitting on top, when I really go off center, driving through it. My toes were active. From here, I can't push. So there's a difference. I'm laces down, look at my toes. Here, you can already feel the difference. That's the same thing I'm doing to you, so if you do it to me. It sucks when a person can use their weight effectively. So think of you get on this side, and it's your sternum right here and on my ribs. You get off your knees, get off your elbows. Now I want you to try your toes toward the body, and you can hear the difference in the way I speak. Invisible Jiu-Jitsu. 160-pound Jiu-Jitsu practitioner will do that to you. 140-pound man will do that. A woman will do that to you, and you're like,
Yeah, it feels like they're putting all their weight into like a 2-inch box.
same thing with getting out belly. I wasn't necessarily crushing your lungs, but you felt it was like a breathe that was across your abdomen. So when you do get in that position, it's 836 to be ready. If I'm here, diaphragm. Here, belly breathing. Here, it felt uncomfortable because I was kind of pushing everything out. Right? But I also wasn't committed to one side. I was using this to post, but the moment you went left or right, I was using my foot and my hand. See that?
Yeah.
That's why you felt like you could not balance. And even if you go for this arm, like he was saying, cool. I was pinning your butt to the back.
Yeah, there was no leverage to do any sweeping there.
But I wanted to pause there because I was like, you don't have an answer for that.
Well, I know how to move. I've watched a lot of YouTube because Kenny used to push me on my belly constantly. It's like I gotta figure out how to get this off.
Kenny's good at that floor, so there's not taken away from that.
But that was my reason for investigating how to remove me on belly.
Yeah, you'll get old school practitioners that'll do the spear of the knee into the diaphragm and pull your head out and stuff like that. And it's a dick move, but it's effective. It doesn't stay there. And the more you do jujitsu, the better you'll be able to breathe. So I always like what Tanner does. He'll go here, same thing Coach Professor saying. He'll just pin that head and that shoulder. So if you start moving, he's ready to do an elbow or something. Or he'll go across the hip.
Yeah, so he can do it now.
Yeah. But I mean, putting it on the belly's fine. It's all me on belly.
Yeah.
Putting it on the sternum, that's effective.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm messing with it.
Right.
So, we keep going or
We
we
did that 4 minute in.
That's it. Did you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Just start with the side.
Once you feel the shoulder and that, I want you to drive towards that overhead side.
Yeah, once you feel. Yeah.
You got it. Every night I feel there's that right. That's how it goes. If anything, I'm going to go to arena because I'm losing back. My chest and back connection is gone. The only way I can prevent you from escaping that torpedo escape is to re-pull into an underhook, to pull you back in. But I have that overhook and you extend it out. You're hitting my elbow in that, your body will take flat on the floor. But it's counterintuitive to what I have to So basically, you're here.
I know we're gonna.
Thank you.
Well, other than, so I just think I compress myself, so just chill out.
I would come and drill like we did today. If someone's overly